right, welcome everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Ex Machina, a, for now, solo campaign where an artisan has uncovered some of the ancient secrets of the past and is now focused on rebuilding these machines using magical enchantments that he has learned in his time studying in the Five Kingdoms. Alexei Kuznetsov uh, has also managed to fashion himself a drone capable of helping with the construction and repair of these clockwork and steam powered devices that use magical enchantments to bring sentience and other fantastical powers to them. To that end, Alexei has gotten on a ship and is sailing for South Tekkenarth, a wild jungle land where the old empire was strongest, and the ruins are lying beneath, vines and protected by dangerous predators. But if he is ever going to reconstruct the glorious machines of the past, he is going to need to find some of their blueprints and manuscripts. And so he is on a search to do just that. And so you guys have chartered passage on a rather large galleon, which is now sailing. You've been on the sea for about a week and have at least a month to go before you reach your destination. There's other like peasants and sailors on the ship, and the salty sea air is something that like you haven't really been used to, studying magic and whatnot. Doesn't require a whole lot of ship travel. So I want you to go ahead and roll a fortitude save to see how you're handling this seasickness that you might be getting. And so if you click on your token, you'll see defenses, and then that will bring up your fortitude save. So, unfortunately, you find the whole experience of being rocked about on the ship and the waves, crashing just kind of brings up some sickness, and you don't know if you're going to, actually be sick or not, but you definitely are feeling like you might be, so you probably head over to the railing, I would assume.
Well, I would need to know. I would assume I would be. Do I have a cabin, or is there bunks, or how is this all set up?
There's
How's
a
the ship?
Yeah, there's a main hold underneath where like everybody just kind of sleeps in like hammocks stretched across the support beams.
Well, I'm just gonna play along. I'll go to the rail, get some try to go outside and get some fresh air.
Yeah.
I
So can you see
can I see
the map?
what?
Oh.
I can see the map, the main map.
Oh, there you go. Now you can see the ship?
It's loading.
Ah, gotcha. Still loading?
Yep. I think it's the stream.
No,
It says
no.
something about gathering stream, or unless you're streaming through something else.
Yeah, no, no. This isn't taking anything away from your loading.
I'll try to refresh. It's not loading in.
That is not good.
Oh, there it went.
Oh,
There
okay.
it went.
Okay. I was gonna say
Got it.
if your computer can't handle the maps, that's not good.
Oh no, it should be able to handle. Yeah, I had some really big flex.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't use anything too big, but sometimes the dynamic lighting and all that can cause issues. So it's still loading, but it's going.
No, no, no. It's good. It's good. I can see it.
Okay, so now do you want to move over to the rail?
Well, suppose in the situation. You want me to actually physically move them?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
It's one of those things where it helps with the verisimilitude.
I
Actually,
feel you.
yeah, actually move around the deck and all that. So as you stare out into the waves, not sure if you're gonna be sick or not, roll for perception. And perception is another thing right on top of your token under skills. So you click on your token, and then at the top you'll see skills, and that'll take you straight to
Yeah.
it.
Shit.
You can see as you look out over the railing that there have been some stowaways hiding somewhere in the ship that are now climbing up the side of the ship. These are pirates, but not just any pirates. These are kobold pirates that are trying to make off with the ship's charter money. The captain took several gold from each passenger to ensure their passage, and so these kobolds are after that.
All right. Do I get a count, a rough count of?
Yeah, 1 second. You see 5 of them climbing up. You don't know how many more there are, but the 5 that you can see right here are armed with daggers and look very fierce.
All right. And when I can't, and there's nobody that I notice on the deck with me.
Yeah, no, just a regular peasant who is unaware of the situation is like currently here, other than like the captain and some sailors who are, doing their sailor thing where they're, battening down the hatches and hoisting the mainsails and other terms that like I only peripherally know because I'm not much of a sailor.
Not much of a sailor, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough. All right. Well, I am going to well, if I have the opportunity, I'm gonna go ahead and draw my weapon. Well, my weapon's not actually. I mean, it's a weapon, but it's a wrench. I'm gonna draw my wrench, and I'm going to. I'm just gonna call out, and I'm like, I think we may be having unwanted passengers. You go alert the crew. Like pointing at the townsperson over there.
Oh my god, oh my god, what's happening? And she starts to raise a panic, and the captain says, Oi! What kind of trouble be going on there?
We have people climbing the hole, Captain. Prepare for a combat, I believe.
Hey! All of you scrubs! Drop your mops and grab your muskets! And so everybody like prepares for battle. So I like to sometimes include NPCs in the battle, but like for a solo game, I think to realistically have like, had all of the sailors here would just take away from your action economy and spotlight, more than necessary. So we're just going to focus on like what's going on with you and assume that
Right.
like everybody else is like doing everything
Handling
they
the
can.
rest.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing their thing. So we're just going to focus on you, and you can just assume that there's like this wild scene of like the sailors trying to fight back more kobolds on
Well, I would
all
assume they're
sides.
climbing on other sides as well. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. So, sometimes, I'll have more NPCs and stuff going on just because it's more important to the story. But like right now, the important thing is just like getting your feet wet with a little bit of combat here. So we really don't need the whole, sailor versus pirate battle to take place. We just need to focus on how you handle yourself.
Fair enough.
Okay, so
Where's my guy?
you roll initiative, which is the hourglass on the second row of the macros. If you click on your token,
Alright, so bro. I click on my token.
yep, and then you'll see initiative. It's got an hourglass in front of it.
I see it. Bam. Gotcha.
Yep, and then also you want to roll for your drone.
Right. On him and click initiative.
Yeah, and don't click the red X. That means you're dead.
Yeah. Definitely do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Alright, so 19 for me and 7 for the drum.
Yep, makes sense. He's got to kind of power up I assume, you know.
Well, out in the rain, out in the salt been getting on him all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
He's probably not faring so hot.
Yeah, he's probably, a little more rusted than usual, needs a little help, little extra
I have to
oil.
keep working on him more than likely as we're traveling.
Yeah. All right, so this kobold tries to climb up the side of the ship.
This kobold, oh, what the?
Oh, he's unable to gain any ground. His sharp kobold claws dig into the side of the ship, keeping him from falling off, but he doesn't manage to get up on top of the ship.
All right. Am I? Okay, so it's on me.
Yes, sir. And it's less important because this is a solo game, but you'll see it's got a 300-second, 5-minute timer, and that's just
Okay.
so that no one person's turn takes too long. But for me,
Right.
it also helps because it pulls the camera to whatever NPC is going, so I can have bigger maps and not have to scroll all around for whose turn it
All
is, you know?
right. Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, I only have a melee weapon. I'm not primarily a fighter,
You could
so
throw it at them.
I could, but then I'd probably lose it. So yeah, I'm gonna just kind of, hmm, move. Like I move here. I'll right click, right? Kind of move in the middle of the group. And is there any of them that are close enough, getting up high enough that I can whack them, or are they all still
No,
too
but
far down?
what you can do is ready an action so that if any of them, get up there, you attack them before they can finish their climb.
Right. So yeah, that's basically what I want to do. So I only used a little bit of movement, maybe let's see, what was it?
10 feet. Or
Five,
yeah,
five,
five.
10 feet.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna ready an action to run over and whack any of them that get up close enough.
Whack a kobold.
Just basically whack a kobold right now if they pop their heads up.
And then so now this is a good enough time to go over some of the stuff. If you see the gear, the settings up on top of the chat there, just to the left of it is
Yep.
your journal. And under the macros, you'll see one that's called End Turn. That's going to be the first one you're going to want to click in bar. And then at the bottom, Show Macro Quick Bar. Yeah, it's amazing. It works so nice.
Right on.
This kobold tries to climb up. Oh, man. Come on, kobolds. So, this one is not able to gain any ground. Apparently, climbing up a slippery, wet ship side as weak kobolds was not the most brilliant plan.
Well, it's during a storm too, yeah. So
All right, so this one climbs up and is too far away for your readied action. So he gets on top of the deck here and readies his dagger to attack. He's not actually taking a readied action. That was his full turn to climb up, but he's just ready to attack.
yeah, yeah, climbing up, pulling out his weapon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
got
get
it.
you.
I like to use, descriptive text like that, but I always clarify in case I ever accidentally use a word that like means
Like
something
an actual game
mechanically.
term, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Um.
It's always a fine line when you're like, your massive blow staggers the enemy, and then it's like, oh wait, no, he's not actually staggered.
And it wasn't massive damage. He doesn't roll the
Yeah,
die.
yeah, 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 yeah. So like, you try to be, poetic or whatever, and you end up having to like clarify everything. Like, wait, that was a mechanical term. It's not actually using that mechanic.
You say, oh, yeah, watch out. He's bleeding from his terrible wound. Is he
Yes,
taking bleed damage?
yes. Anytime I say bleeding, or it looks like he's dying, like that doesn't necessarily mean he's dying. Like he could just be badly injured.
Right, right.
But yeah, anyway, what does Marcus do? Marquise.
Yeah, Marquise is just going to come and stand by me and ready his action as well. Not much else to do at the moment.
He's gonna Will Wheaton it and stand by me.
Yeah, that's what we've got to do.
Eh?
Be back to back in lizards for not too long.
The kobolds hiss, "We're not lizards," and their lizard-like tongues stick out.
Quacks like a duck.
And then is that his turn?
Oh, yeah, it's his turn. Yeah, he can't reach anybody, so.
You should be able to end his turn then too.
Oh, yeah, button.
Button.
There.
Who's got the button?
Did I click it right?
Oh,
No,
he
I didn't.
can't end his turn? Okay, that's okay. Alright, so this guy tries to climb up. Wow, kobolds. This is just embarrassing.
I'll just have to wait for him because we'll just be up here like, "God, you guys gonna make it or just give up 1 minute?"
I I could toss you a rope. I don't think you would take it. I'm only waiting around to kill you.
Yeah,
That does put a damper on our
exactly.
relationship, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So this kobold starts to climb up, but your readied action kicks in and you're able to smack him with your wrench, maybe knocking him off.
Right.
And for your additional modifiers, you get a +2 to the attack because you're attacking down at him while he's trying to climb.
All right. So I'll just let's see. Set up.
Oh, so you click on your token and
Click on
then
my token.
attacks, and then
Attack.
it'll pop up a list of any of the attacks that you have. Which, yeah, you can see
Is
you have spear, sling, unarmed. Oh, that's the kobold. I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
that's cool. I'm clicking on me. I click attacks and I don't see anything. I definitely set up a weapon though, so I'll
Let
just
me
click my weapon.
double check your weapon and see what's going on. Because if you set it up,
Equipment,
it should be on there.
wrench. I click it that way. Wrench. No, it didn't work. What happened? Oh, it's not actually a weapon. Oh yeah, it is. 1d8. Melee. Create attack. No.
Yes. Yes, create attack. That is what you needed.
How come it's not doing it?
No, it is. So now, if you go under attacks, you'll see wrench, but uh, you can just access it from your token.
Token. I'm still not getting an option.
Yeah, so you go tokens, attack.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, tokens and attack, and then I get nothing. It just highlights the attack. Maybe
There's
I've
like
never.
5 wrenches in there. But yeah, see?
Mm-mm.
No?
That's the thing is when I click on token, like I'm telling you, yeah, I click on token. I click my token. I
Yep.
click on attacks, and nothing happens. It highlights attacks with a border, but there's no list or anything.
In the chat. You might still be on
Oh,
journal.
okay. So wrench. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. I was expecting like a list to pop up from where I clicked from what attacks I was going to
Yeah,
use, but
yeah.
maybe it's just doing wrench because I only have a wrench. Alright, so which one are we going with?
The
I
first
can't
one.
tell which one
The
even now.
first one.
A lot of them don't have a number behind. The only one that does is a 3, and that's a miss.
Oh no, no, just click on the wrench where it says wrench. The first one.
We've done this like this before. This is
Just right where it
not working.
says wrench in the chat. It says melee
In the chat,
ranged CMB.
rent.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So I believe that manages to hit the kobold. Oh
With a plus
no.
2, it's a
You
16.
Oh yeah, +2. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so you just hit the kobold for 4 damage, but now he has to make a dex save or fall off of the ship.
Very well.
And he also has to make a fortitude save or be knocked unconscious. And he's unconscious, so he just automatically falls off the ship and into the water. Splash! And he just drifts away as you continue on without him.
Alright.
Is that too loud?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. So now this kobold is going to um, try to climb up. And he does, but oh no, you don't have a ready to action. So
Nope.
yeah, you already took that. So he climbs up. Now there's 2 kobolds on the deck by you. And it is your turn.
Alright, so. Let's see. We don't have a tile. So is that a full tile right there? Okay, that's 5
No,
foot.
no. Yeah, each of the squares is 2.5 feet, and that's because if you've
Everything's
ever
big.
yeah, if you've ever used a small token and like used several of them, like these kobolds, normally
Mm,
with the 5 foot squares, if I tried to put both of these kobolds into the same square, it would just
it
stack
won't
them on
let you.
top of each other in the upper left hand
Yeah.
corner and makes it really difficult. Now I can get 4 small creatures into one square. It still has the same problem, of course, for like tiny and fine creatures, you'll still only be able to get 4 of them in there. But like,
Right.
usually, when it comes to tiny and fine creatures, like I'm not gonna have that many in one square anyway.
Yeah, that'd be hell to run. Let's see here. Well, I'm gonna move up to this kobold. Looks like it's 5 foot basically,
Yep,
and
one 5-foot step.
I'm gonna just give him a.
A little tap with the wrench.
Oh,
Just tap it in. Oh
oh, good.
no, no! The kobold ducks underneath the swing of your wrench and laughs at you.
Oh yeah.
You look over at Marquis and tell him, take that one alive. We're gonna see what's so funny. I think they're getting worse at climbing. This kobold rushes in and tries to stab you with his knife. Oh, 1 second. Okay, that did not work.
I mean, if they're generic kobolds, it's just D20 -1.
Oh man. So the kobold stabs at you, but you take your wrench and just easily deflect the kobold's blade, almost knocking it out of his hand in the process.
Marquis just gonna take a step back and get back to back with me, ready and act to attack any that get close enough
Yeah, if either
on
of
the
those other
opposite
two
side.
kobolds try to get up
Yeah.
there, or if one of these kobolds tries to flank you.
Yep. Yep. I assume this town is buggered off long ago.
Oh yeah, yeah, she's over hiding somewhere. And then is that his turn? By the way, you
Yeah,
should
that
be able
was
to
be.
click the done button in the chat.
Oh yeah. Okay, that'll be easy.
Still trying to climb the ship. They're persistent. And he... Oh, no, it wasn't a natural one. Almost. I was going to say he falls off into the
I will
water.
point out. I will point out that skill checks don't naturally or normally crit fail.
No,
That's
they
a
can neither
that is
crit
a
succeed or crit fail. However,
yeah.
what it comes down to is if you're
He's gonna
attempting
fall if he fails it below a certain amount with climbs. You fall.
right, but
Yeah.
also if you're trying to do something where there is a chance of like something like that, and you roll a natural one, like it's
You're pretty much
likely, yeah,
doomed.
unless you have a huge bonus, like
Right.
if you're trying to, let's say light a fuse for some dynamite and you roll a natural one, either you like completely wet the fuse and it can't be lit, or like maybe you light it too short and you have to make a dexterity save, otherwise it'll blow up in your hand or something, stuff like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah, I feel you.
So just anytime there's a chance of like quote unquote catastrophic failure, like
Yeah,
there's
I think
always going
that's
to
the
be
term
that.
they use.
Yeah, there's always going to be that chance of like it happening. And again, unless you have like massive bonuses. Like for instance, if this kobold had like a plus 10 to climb and he rolled a natural one, it's probably not going to be as bad as like he just falls off and dies. You know, but
Right.
they already have a negative 1. So when you're already bad at something
Yeah.
and then you natural one it,
Yeah, that's
when your total is a 0, that's pretty much as bad as it gets. So this kobold tries to stab you. This kobold is very bad at stabbing you.
yeah. They're if they're getting through and well, I'm just gonna right. Excuse me. This, I'm not doing.
So you and the kobolds are just kind of going back and forth, like swinging at each other, but neither of you really wants to commit to anything. So it's like that.
It's the testing phase.
Yeah, it's like that cartoon thing where like the people start like slapping at each other, but like nobody's really connecting.
Right, right. Oh yeah, intern.
This kobold finally makes it up on top of the deck and prepares to attack.
So Marquise can make his ready to action.
Not just yet. He's actually not adjacent to him.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, you don't do diagonal squares, huh?
Yeah, no. So basically, when it's a small creature like this, as long as they're one of the 2.5 feet squares away, that they're far enough away. And even if it was a big creature, like let's say Marquise was right here, he could not attack you.
Hmm.
You got to be
Okay,
adjacent.
that's a little odd, but I feel you.
Well,
I feel you there. Normally you have like a 5 foot reach,
right,
basically, if you
right.
with
But
melee, and
but you got to
that
remember.
includes diagonal squares as well.
Right, but you got to remember that with the way this is set up, normally he would have to go all the way over here in order to take a step away from you, and then it would be out of the 5 foot reach. So because there's
Right.
the 2.5 foot reach, I just rule that you have to be adjacent because you would be adjacent normally.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then so it's one little odd case where like in this case the kobold is technically in his adjacent square if you were to like cut it up into the the four squares as one that it normally would be. He would be in that adjacent square, but I rule that he has to be adjacent just to make it easier so that it's not like, oh wait, is this in range or not? Because there's too many edge cases then with reach weapons and everything.
Well, definitely. Later on, it won't. I'll have much larger reach.
Yeah. The kobold might connect with you.
My AC.
16, so he just manages to
Yep.
get through your defenses and inflict a small wound of 3 damage on you. And if you click on your token, the red circle, you just type -3 in there and hit enter.
All right.
So what does the drone marquise do?
Scooch up. Is that a 8 a hit? Probably not.
No, the 8 does not connect with the kobold as Marquise steps forward and tries to slam the kobold. It does not work. Round 3, can all the kobolds finally make it up? Hey, look at that. So now he's up. So now all the kobolds are up. Well, except for that one, of course.
Yeah, he didn't quite make it.
He kind of almost did. And then you just knocked him off. Oh, another kobold manages to bypass your defenses and deals another 3 damage to you. You can tell that, like, this battle is not going as well as you hoped.
Nothing else to do, really. I'm just gonna keep whacking the same dude
Yeah.
in this particular situation. Let's see. What kind of.
I mean, there is the 5 foot step to, make it
Right.
to where you can disengage from them, and there is the total defense action. Um,
I'm gonna use a swift action. Use my enhancement pool. Use 1 point from it, which I have 4 total points right now. But I'm gonna give a +1 enhancement bonus to my, and it will last for 1 minute.
which is 10 rounds, which is usually longer
Yeah,
than any
yeah.
combat lasts.
Normally. So
Normally.
+1 to AC gives me the 17, and that's a swift action.
Yes,
So
it
I
is.
am going to fight defensively. -4 to hit
Yep.
for +2 to AC, if I remember right.
Yep. So now
So that
that's.
put me at 19.
Yep.
So I'm swinging on the guy on the right still. With a -4, so that's only a 9.
Yeah. Unfortunately, fighting defensively, you're unable to connect, but you are in a very good position to be able to defend yourself.
And
This kobold attempts to attack back at Marquis. Unfortunately, his dagger cannot deal any damage to his metal armor. This kobold attempts to attack you, but your defensive stance allows you to easily deflect his dagger thrust.
it's on Marquis. Well, just gonna go ahead and keep whacking. Chance.
Fighting defensively still?
Not him.
Oh, okay.
It's the drone. Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah,
drone.
yeah.
Yeah, but the attack was 6, so that's definitely.
Yeah, unfortunately, the drone is having trouble attacking. His joints are just a little stiff from the salty sea air.
Oh yeah, intern again. That's I'm gonna have to get used to.
Yep, that's why I don't say anything. I just let everybody get used to it because I'm not trying to put pressure on them and make it like a negative thing, and like you said, you just got to get used to it.
Yep.
You will. I find most everybody gets used to it pretty quick. There are
Yeah.
occasionally some people who are just like they never ever remember it, but that's just that's part of their personality. Like you know,
Gotcha.
unfortunately, this kobold is unable to penetrate the drone's metal hide as well.
They'll have trouble doing damage to him even if they hit him with his hardness too.
Oh, for sure. All right, so this kobold attempts to attack you and fails.
On me. And let's see. I can do this as much as I want. Just the bonus only lasts a minute, and I can't stack on bonus over and I'm gonna use another point for my enhanced tool. I'm gonna give the
Yeah,
swift action to my bonus to my weapon
yeah,
at this point. Give it
absolutely.
a +1 to hit and damage
And actually,
for the
if you
next.
if you go to your sheet, um,
All right.
you can go under attacks, and then where it says enhancement, you just bump that up to +1 there, like I just did, and now it'll automatically add all that in for you.
All right on. So now I'll just do the same thing. I will fight kobold on the right. So -3, or well -4 because you added it in.
Yeah, I've already added
So,
the +1.
so that's a 10 altogether.
Yeah, unfortunately, once again, your defensive stance is not conducive towards attacking, and you are unable to make contact with the kobold. But you will have that enhancement to your defense yet again.
It might end up being a long fight.
It's already pretty long for a couple of
Yeah.
kobolds.
I'm not optimized for combat at all.
No, and it is 5 kobolds against just the two of you. Like I didn't make it
Right.
easy.
Well, I'm not having no problem with it either though. Makes it interesting. I have to
you're
use the
you're
options
you're
available to
you're
me.
you're 1 5% roll away from going down.
Right, right.
But of course, that can be said for just about any first level character in any combat.
That's why I was actually thinking about avoiding the level 1. I've done it quite a few times at this point, and it's lethal.
It can be, and yeah, like I said, I don't mind like occasionally starting at like level 3 or something like that, but 7 is just a little high for
Yeah, it's
me.
pretty high. That's just I was wanting to kind of like run it right along from the last time I got to play. But I feel you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel. I feel you. I feel you though.
No, I understand completely, where you're coming from, and as a dungeon master, I agree, that level 1 can be dangerous like that, but that's why I like these lower levels is because there is that thrill of like, oh, I could die here.
Well, I have to use all my options. I've pretty much unless they roll a crit, they're probably not going to hit me,
Right.
and I still have a decent chance of hitting them if I roll well.
Yep.
I'm just not rolling well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So is that your turn?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Doop doo.
This
And
kobold takes a 5 foot step, which as a small creature is a 2.5 foot step, and attempts to stab the robot.
not the brain.
Oh, that's terrible. These kobolds are just terrible at their jobs. And then this one remembers his tactics and begins to move around. I had to double check because I've been playing so much 5th edition. Kobolds have like a special maneuver in 5th edition. I had to check and see if they had something in Pathfinder.
Oh no, nothing like that I know.
Yeah,
Maybe different. There's lots of different kobolds, though. There's even like winged kobolds you could
sure,
choose from.
sure. Oh, so you may have noticed, and I'll just clarify this and see how you feel about it. My tendency as a dungeon master is that I will describe like the first few attacks and then like anything special, but like after a while, like you get it. He stabs at
Yeah, and
you
we
and you
got to
deflect.
speed the combat along. It takes a while.
Yeah, so like
I totally get you.
I am descriptive, but like I'm not going to describe the same thing over and over again.
After this combat, I got something I want to run by you
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely, absolutely.
But it's just something to throw out there. But okay, so did I roll already? No, I didn't. Okay, slam. He's just going for the one on his left as
Okay.
he's facing the two.
Yep.
Slamming for a miss, I assume.
Of course, yes.
And enter.
This kobold takes a 2.5 step, and now they are flanking for the +2 bonus.
It'll be hard to get through that night.
14, and even if it does hit, it won't deal any damage, so it's kind of the same thing. His blade just clangs off of the metal.
Oh, he only hit an 11, so that did hit.
Oh,
I was
okay.
thinking they were attacking me. I was thinking they were attacking me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
with me, the 19 is me right now, but
Yeah, no. So he did hit, but no damage. And now they're flanking you. That's how I play my kobolds is like eventually they figure it out, but not like right away, like they're still kind of dumb right
have
away.
you ever heard of Tucker's kobolds?
Uh I have heard that phrase, but no, I have never googled it.
Imagine a large mercenary kobold band that are all very experienced and very resourceful, and them just terrorizing a 20th level party.
Hey, if you've got kobolds that maybe have like some optimized feats or like teamwork feats and all of that, like yeah.
Yeah. So, alright, on me, swinging on. I'm just gonna keep going for the same guy. Oh, I get the same strategy. Oh, wrong guy. Me. 19, which is actually
No, 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 no,
-4, so it's a
19.
15.
Yeah. And as you smash into the kobold for 3 damage, he kind of like gets his bell rung a little bit and turns and hisses at you like a lizard.
Back at him. Do my best impersonation. Right back at him. And then you know what, I'm gonna take a 5-foot step back.
Yeah, now they're not flanking you.
Yeah, and we're back to back, so help us out a little bit.
He strikes the robot for no damage. Clang! His dagger goes off of his metal leg. Boom shakalaka! A critical hit,
Somebody got me.
but it does not confirm. So it's only 2 damage. Luckily you were
2.
fighting
Oop,
defensively.
that's me. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise you'd be down
2.
right now.
Yeah, I would be.
But he didn't confirm.
I'm maximizing all my options here, but I'm in a dire situation.
Oh, hey, yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so
Focus fire. Move the drone 5 feet into this square and attack the kobold you already have damage on.
yeah, I guess I could do that. I'll just have to turn back to back with him in a direction. Can he? But I was figuring he can't be in this tile because of the railing.
He's tight up against the railing, but not so much that he's squeezing.
Fair enough. You can do that. Well, yeah, there would be no attacks. There would be no attacks of
No attacks of
opportunity against him.
opportunity because he's taking a 5-foot step.
Okay. Like I'll do that. I'll turn back to back with him. Steps
Yeah,
in.
sorry, I don't mean to tell you what to do. Just trying to, you know.
No, I mean, no, I mean, I feel you. I feel you. It was a good option. I was more worried about the attack of opportunity from the top left kobold.
Yep, but not with a 5-foot step.
Yeah, fair enough. So let's go ahead and yeah, he'll swing on the same guy. He's not hit anybody yet, but
Yeah, I know, but still, if he's going to hit somebody, it might as well
he
be.
did finally hit something.
Yes, exactly. And so now this kobold needs to make a fortitude save or be knocked out.
I'm essentially a mechanic in his repair drone right now.
And this kobold is knocked unconscious. This kobold steps in and is still not flanking you. See, that's why else this position works, because now
Yeah.
it prevents them
He
from
if he
flanking you for
didn't
another turn.
if he didn't knock out the bottom right kobold, he would be flanking me. But since he
Right.
did, he's not flanking me, so it ended up working.
Yeah, yeah. And this kobold misses you badly. This kobold is knocked out, but could possibly wake up. So at the end of his turn, he gets a fortitude save. He is not awake.
I'm going. Well, now I'm facing top left, or top right and
Here,
top left.
hold on.
Kobolds.
1 second, let me show you something. There you go. Now you know which way you're facing. You just grab the arrow and point it at whichever one. There you go.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I actually have a much better looking arrow for that, but I haven't gotten it set up yet, but I will.
That worked. That worked.
Yeah, I have a nice
See.
I have a nice little red arrow that just points at one area and the rest of it is all blank, you know, so it's not taking up so much real estate.
Oh, that'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, it is a lot of big.
Yeah, but
But let's see. Fighting defensively still. It's a big miss.
and so this kobold tries to stab at Marquis. And he's not flanking, but he does crit, but does not confirm, so it still deals 0 damage as he stabs his dagger right into him and just clang.
Right into the heart Marquise doesn't have.
Yeah, yeah. This kobold tries to stab at you and misses badly.
Right, so
Now you guys
right.
focus fire on this one.
We'll see, I'm gonna have to. We can actually. Guess so. Yeah. I already made my do next round. And he hits. That I don't even need to. I think he
7
just killed him.
damage. Ooh. That is a massive slam as the robot's metal fist connects with the kobold's fragile skull. I mean, at least fragile in comparison. And he fails his save and is knocked unconscious from the massive damage. This kobold sees everybody getting messed up and takes a 5-foot step and dives into the ocean. This kobold tries to wake up. And does. He kind of like comes to. He's like, what's going on?
So I have only this one in front of me now that's fighting. I'm just,
Yes.
yeah, I'm still fighting. It's a 15 for.
Yes, a 15 does hit for 3 damage. Your wrench connects with the kobold. It whimpers from the blow, but is not down. And is that your turn?
Yeah.
This kobold tries to wake up. And does not. This kobold tries to take a 2.5 foot step away from you, but cannot, and so just attacks you. For 1 damage as he gets through your defensive stance.
High roller. So, well, we got nobody else.
This kobold is awake now.
Oh yeah. What is he like? It's like 0 HP, but
He has two HP right now.
well, whack. Hey, he did whack. He whacked.
And, yeah, and you knock him completely unconscious and dying.
After that, I'll have him move.
Yeah, and he's free to move now because there's only that kobold there. Yep.
Block off his escape.
And this kobold is no longer in the initiative because he is in the water. And this kobold needs to try not to die. Alright, he is not dying any longer.
That was a drone.
Oh, it was the drone. Look at that. Never mind, he's totally still dying. Fighting defensively is just not Alexi's forte. Still unconscious. Now this kobold really can't escape, but he's scared, and the rest of the kobolds seem to be fleeing from the sailors as well, so he gets down on his hands and knees and begins to beg for his life. And Marquis says no. Knocking the kobold unconscious, you guys look around and see that the sailors are celebrating the total victory over the kobold pirates. Everybody seems to, be okay. So you guys have won the day.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Discord just does that every once in a while. I gotta refresh the call.
Yep.
Alright, so I swung 16 for 5.
Which knocked the kobold out. And you look around, and the rest of the sailors are celebrating as all of the kobold pirates leap into the ocean. You can see little kobold speeder boats. They're just really fast and well designed, pulling up and picking them up and darting off before the ship can train its cannons on them.
Alright. Well, I'm just gonna look around. I'm gonna look around for a second, and then I'm just gonna call out. For the love of the gods, please tell me there is a cleric on board.
Everybody kind of looks around and looks at the captain, and the captain says, "Oi! You find medical supplies down in the hole."
Oh, I'm just gonna kind of give him a wave and then kind of go look at these medical supplies because I'm no medical expert.
Yeah, so you look down at the first aid kit, and it is a box of stained towels and one bottle of extra strength rum.
Okay, it's wonderful.
So basically, you can bandage yourself up and clean the wound with some rum.
Well, I have no medical skill whatsoever.
What about your
I'm
drone?
going. He is a repair drone. Like, if it was a robot, he'd be able to fix it probably. But I'm gonna ask
Then
him.
it's settled. We
I'm
shall
gonna like.
make you into a robot.
I'm gonna tell him, Marquise, please go around the ship and ask if anybody is a healer of any sort. Tell them that we have gold to offer for payment. I'm going to go rest my cot, bunk or hammock.
Yeah, so about an hour and a half later, you hear a bunch of rowdy laughter as Marquise starts to walk down into the hold by your sleeping area. You look over and you can see that somebody has painted all across his body that he is a freak and a construct and not human, no soul. You know, they basically graffitied him.
Wow, I don't like these. See, all at this point I can do then is I'm gonna go ahead and just rest and try to, do the whole recovering by the day.
Yeah, so go
It'll be
ahead.
slower.
Yeah, go ahead and heal 1 day's worth as the next day passes, and you spend your day getting total bunk rest.
Remember,
I think it's your level plus your Constitution modifier.
like my uh, twice your character level. Is that right?
Yeah, twice your character level plus con. Yeah, that sounds right.
All right. Well, in that case, level is 1 Constitution, so I got 4 back.
All right.
So I'm definitely not dying.
Marquise looks up at you and just kind of sign language indicates to you that you're still hurt.
Well, all right. Well, I'll point out here. I don't know if you knew, perhaps, but Marquise. Now, I'm not trying to say he wouldn't get graffiti because I could see that happening in the wrong places, but uh, he does have common and a diplomacy of 5.
Yeah. The reason why
Is he just
he's sign
being
languaging to you.
secretive?
Yes, exactly. He doesn't want
Okay, I feel
anybody
you.
else. He doesn't want anybody else to know how hurt you are.
Well, uh, I'm just gonna kind of, well, it will take you more than that to be killing me. I'm like cockroach. Trust me, friend. I'm gonna get up out of my bunk and kind of do a little stretching and ask him, how long again is it till we reach our destination? It's a very long time.
You hear the churning of gears as he prepares to speak. It has to like program in the exact thing each time, so you can hear like a little chunk, and then he says, "It will be 1 month until we reach our destination."
I'm going back to sleep, Marquis. Good luck. Best of luck with the lesser developed creatures among the ship.
Shall
I'm
I
just gonna...
clean off my chassis?
Have you not done this yet, sir? You have to learn to have respect for yourself. Yes, you clean this off immediately.
As you wish. And then he goes and starts scrubbing off his graffiti, and you go back to sleep, and uh, you get,
Puts
another
me
day's
basically
rest.
healed up.
Yeah, you get another day's rest. You're pretty much healed up, and so now, um, you guys are, kind of back walking about on the ship, and getting to know everybody. And one of the townspeople kind of like is looking out over the railing, and just like you can tell that she's really like agitated.
Hmm. I mean, honestly, at this point, the way I'm thinking of things is
Yeah.
I'm kind of just thinking, keep to myself, unless something goes down again, of course, help out, and just kind of wait things out until I get to our destination.
Yeah. So
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
So even though you see the peasant kind of like having issues or whatever, you're like, not my business.
I mean, it's not my business.
All right, no, that's cool, and that this is a perfect time for me to kind of like give you a little insight into how I run things. All I ever do is offer different like opportunities. You
Hmm.
decide which ones you take and which ones you don't.
All right. Well, I was like my readout as a player, right? Like I can't get anything really done on this ship,
Right. You're
and
you're you're
as
on
a
a ship.
character as well.
Right, you're on a ship, yeah.
So, and you can't really, there's no fast travel in this world until you're a high level wizard and can teleport around and stuff. So I
Right.
get, yeah, we're on a ship. I totally get that. But I'm just gonna kind of like, as a player, just sleep through it.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. So,
Unless, I mean, if stuff happens, if like, I'm not saying I'm just gonna sleep in my bunk while the ship's getting raided and burnt down.
no,
But
of
if
course not.
if shit happens, I'm gonna react by all means. But if everything's going as usual and we're traveling as we're supposed to be, I'm just gonna mind my business.
With you 100%. No worries.
Also, I just don't want. I also don't. I'll just point this out to you as a DM, although I'm sure you're probably gonna end up using it against me.
Go ahead.
I'm carrying around almost 500 GP, so I don't really want. I don't want anybody to know that, and that's not a massive amount of money, but for me, it's a lot of money.
Sure. No, I got you. Yeah. No worries.
So my spectrum of thought at this point, even though as a player I know I totally that's like chicken scratch. That doesn't even really help me 500 GP. But
No,
as a
but when it's
character,
yeah, and when it's everything you have right now, Yeah.
Yeah, and you notice like my gear is very basic overall, you know, and I arranged my feats to where I end up starting with like 1,200 gold, but then I spend it on literally the most expensive things I end up getting is my everlasting rations and my ever full mug, so I always have
Right.
food and water.
Right.
And then I have a hammer and I have a chainmail shirt and I have basic travel gear and my 500 GP.
No, yeah, you're well within your rights to pass on anything going on. Like there's no pre-written modules here to where like if you don't take the adventure hook, like the story doesn't continue.
Right, you know, like it's not going to shut you down.
Right. No, no. Like by all means, anytime there is something that you want to explore further, you don't have to worry like, "Oh, wait, what if the DM doesn't have any background information written up for these guys?" Like, no, I will always have something written up for them. And
I'll point out as a player, if you had a raid like you just did already planned or something like that, just go right ahead with that stuff
well,
during the
yeah.
travel and
Well, yeah. I mean, that's all I can do when it comes to,
yeah.
if there's something that's happening, it's going to happen. But like you know how it
Yeah, so
is
me and
with
Marquise
a
are
lot
basically, yeah, I feel you.
with a lot of the modules
I'm
and
not trying to cut you off.
A lot of DMs even like basically if you don't take the adventure hook, then they're just like okay, so
What do we do now, guys?
exactly. But not me. I know exactly what we're going to do. So give me just 1 second while I get your stuff set up here.
No, I like the setup so far as where we're going and stuff. My only hope as a player is there's a decent sized kind of civilization there.
This is one of the most populated places in the world, but like it's like a bunch of individual New Yorks and LAs.
Okay. Little like yeah, little city states.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So like there are a ton of people here, but like that doesn't mean that like everything is like super easy access to each other.
So facilitating trade between all these people would be probably pretty lucrative.
Right. Okay, so can you see?
I can see. Okay, yeah, I can see better. I just have to scroll up. It was cutting it off. All right, so we're at port.
Yes, you find yourselves pulling into what amounts to a shanty town of sorts. It's huge. It's one of the biggest cities you've ever seen, coming from North Tekkenarth, or as they call themselves, just Tekkenarth proper. Kind of like how people from the United States call themselves Americans, and then everybody else is South Americans. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And
So
what's Canada?
Canada is this place called Oosterland, and it is like way worse than Canada. It is like the Arctic Circle like times 10.
So, all right, we come into port. I see this like I'm looking around. Hmm. This isn't. It might be an odd one for you, but I'm actually gonna look around with my appraise, and I want to know what I'm looking around is I'm trying to gauge, um, the wealth level of this town. Like, what kind of things would be easy to find and hard to find, and
So go ahead and roll that.
I'm trying to find it, but like my stuff
Skill.
disappeared.
So click on your token and then on skills. And then appraise should be one of the top ones.
Oh. Oh, okay. I keep forgetting I can do everything that way.
Yeah, I try to make everything real super easy for everybody, you know?
Alright, I gotta double click because my mouse just does that sometimes.
Yeah, I know. My wife does it all the time.
But so I got 20
You got a
on my
20,
first click.
and so, first of all, I'm going to tell you what you know about this place from your studies and, like, the people who were willing to take you here. You know that this is a almost wild place compared to where you guys come from. Very much like you come from Europe, even though you were in China studying magic. Um, of course, not for real. These are just like the real world
Yeah,
equivalents
like
to give
yeah,
you.
I get you.
So you come from like a Russian Europe type of place originally. Went to China to study magic, and then met some adventurers, sailors from far off, who told you tales of Tekkenarth South. And what you know is that it's a very wild place, like a South America kind of jungle. And the people living there, some of them are great traders and sailors. Some of them are pirates, and there are also dangerous races living in the jungles. Huge, dark-scaled lizard folk, twice as big as any of the lizard folk you've ever seen. Uh, Tiny, pygmy people who are, cannibalistic according to these, sailors. Um, all kinds of monstrous creatures, way beyond anything seen over here in the European centric kind of place. Whereas you guys might see a hippogriff or maybe even a periton or something else fantastic like that. Down here in the jungles, there's things as fantastic as like dinosaurs and koalas and just things beyond scale.
Right. Okay, so
And then your appraisal of this town tells you that unlike some of the very rich cities that you've heard about, this one appears to be more like a um, secondary territory type of city. This is where the poorer people come to avoid the high taxes of the well defended major port cities.
okay. Well,
So, although it's impossible to say what you all could find here, it's safe to say that, like, most of the very, very high end things were not destined for this place.
okay, well. Now this is just more of a player question, I is rather than my character, he would probably like, but why have I come here? Like as the artisan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
like what was my objective in coming to this location? Or
you
this
didn't you
area
didn't
of the
you didn't
world?
you didn't want to come to this location. You wanted to get to this area of the world.
Right, right.
So it's
And
it's basically
what was
like
it?
uh you are here because the ancient empire that was destroyed supposedly by the gods. That's the tale that is told. Like, what stock you put in that is up to you. But
Right,
supposedly the gods smited the world and wrought it in two and flooded the old empire, and so all of the secrets were lost, and they were like the Magitech empire. So
right.
so like you are like, I need to find out the secrets of these ancients. And
So that makes sense.
yeah, and so
Okay,
like the only
I was
way is
just
to go to
confused
the
at first.
source. Yeah, but you didn't want to come here. You want to get like further into the jungles, but like they're not going to sail to one of the major ports that is like further inland, so they're just dropping you off at the coast.
Right, right. Well, in that case, see, I'm just gonna. I didn't really meet any interesting other adventurers on the ship per se. Like, I was kept to myself, but I didn't have see anybody or anything of that nature, and it was mostly just the crew that ended up helping on with the kobolds.
True, true. But
So I'm just
also you
gonna.
never know. Like just because it says townsperson or peasant or whatever on somebody's thing, like until you talk to somebody, most of them are gonna appear as generic tokens like that,
All right, so
and
I feel you because I use that strategy. Okay, if you're using that strategy, that's what I do as well. Is because I'll throw a NPC that a lot of people might
yep,
consider set dressing,
yep.
and it is set dressing until you interact with it.
Exactly, exactly. And
Okay.
then all of a sudden, it might become something. I do this for a number of reasons, but just to clue you in as to my DM style, and also anybody who ends up watching this, little pro DM tip for you. It
Sorry.
helps. It helps because then you can have like a generic plan for what you might want to have happen, but you can adapt it based on what your players decide to interact with or not. So maybe that
A good.
agitated woman needed help. Maybe that
Yeah, yeah.
agitated woman was a powerful adventurer. She could have been anything, and depending on how you approached it, I can either go with something I have pre written or adapt on the fly and improv.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing to keep in mind for sure.
Yeah, I just, but I don't want you feeling like if I put something in front of you, that means that you have to interact with it either. You like at
Uh,
any time
if
you're free to
even if it
walk
wasn't,
away.
if just for me as a player, even if it was an adventurer, I probably would have just made a mental note
Yeah,
and did the same thing, and then just met up with them after we got off the boat.
sure,
Because
sure.
everybody's probably going straight to the tavern.
Well, and plus I know the rule, like, the less time you can spend on water in D&D the better.
Well, yeah, I wasn't even thinking of it that way. I was just thinking of like, what can I accomplish here?
Oh, I get you 100%, but like let's be real about this.
Yeah,
Like,
no, like who wants a kraken or anything like
yeah,
that?
yeah. Like you don't need to be spending a whole bunch of time, on the water in D&D. It's a recipe for bad stuff. I'm not that kind of DM, although I was gonna plop my Kraken token down and be like, as you go to the railing, a Kraken.
Oh no, thank you, no, thank you.
So, are you looking
I was
for the
hesitant.
tavern?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go straight to the tavern because, for one, I'm gonna need work in this area, and for two, if I'm gonna do any exploring at all, I'm gonna need help.
Thought that's what the robot was.
Well, yeah, he's a good start. He's definitely a good start, but I have a little less confidence in him after we just fought kobolds, and I mean, when he hit hard, but it was pretty rare.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Less.
honestly, a healer is mainly what I'm looking for.
Gotcha. Yeah, no,
But I mean,
100%.
if I find other stuff, I'll probably hire them too. Because I'm gonna hire people as my mindset is. I have gold, I want to use it. Yeah, like I'm using the gold. The gold is like came from my feet and my trait.
Right.
So I spent that as like a character creation resource, and I'm trying to maximize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like I'm gonna try to turn that gold and then turn it into I'm gonna hire people and try to maybe I'll put flyers out if I need to put flyers out and hire bards to sing my praises if need be. That kind of shit.
Oh,
Whatever
absolutely.
need to happen.
Yeah, yeah. So, after entering the tavern, this is like a old square, tavern. There's nothing like special about it. And
Right? It doesn't have a name.
right, right, right. And as you enter, you see a barmaid, basically like working herself to death here. She is running back and forth trying to serve everybody, and all around you are just like various uh, people, um, peasants and whatnot, just like getting drunk and rowdy.
Okay. See, I'm just gonna. If I remember, I can do it this way. Make a perception and just kind of look around the room and
Yeah,
around,
so looking
sit down
around you,
somewhere.
yeah, looking around you don't see anything like too obvious, but there is some room at one of the long benches right in the middle. And so you take a seat, and the barmaid eventually comes over and says, "Well, what do you boys be having?"
Let's see. I will have just a simple meal, some fresh
All
meat
right,
for
well,
first person.
we've got fish stew, we got fish steaks, and if you're hungry for a little something different, we've got a hearty crab sandwich.
Marquise, we're not having fun in this place. I promise you this. Um, let's see. You have things that are not fish that come with the fish things, like rice or potato or bread.
Yeah, well, we've got some spicy rice and some grilled peppers, and then we've got all of the wines and ales that you can drink.
Well, I will just have some kind of meal that does not include the fish. And Marquise, you will not be having anything, I assume.
I require no sustenance beyond the fuel that you fill me with.
Oh shit! We'll have to figure it
No
out
worries.
for later.
My fuel capacities remain at full. I have at least 3 days worth of energy left.
Let's see.
Ah,
We'll have.
well,
Hmm?
you can have the spam eggs and spam. You saying you didn't want fish just reminded me of the Monty Python spam skit where everything has
Yeah.
spam in it. I don't like spam. Well, there's hardly any spam in this because like everything here is fish. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
she goes back and she brings you some of the bread rolls and like basically what amounts to peppers on rice.
Okay. Okay. I can deal with that. See, I'm going to give that woman a gold piece.
Oh, thank you, kind sir. And she moseys off back into the kitchen.
I assume that was a lot more than what my food cost.
Oh yeah,
I might
yeah, you tipped her well.
just be
So
easier for.
you dig in the spiced rice. It's actually pretty hot. So I don't know how does Alexi feel about spicy food.
Well, I would say he likes it. I would say he's not like he didn't grow up in that kind of culture, but he likes it.
Yeah, yeah. So as you're digging in, this is something that you've never quite had before, but it's not bad. It gives you a warm tingle in the back of your throat. As you finish off the rice and peppers, you look around and you see a dark figure kind of eyeing you up.
Well, I'm just kind of wave him over to come sit with. Just wave at him as I'm eating.
As you look at him, he looks away.
See, is there a room at his table for me to just go sit with him?
Yeah, there is. But as you get up and approach, he walks back into the back storage room.
Well, I just tip the barmaid very well. And she's the only person that works here that I've seen, so I'm just following the plate.
Yeah, so did you see him walk back here?
Oh, which way? This all the way back here. I feel you. Right, so
I don't see your token moving.
you don't see my token? Oh, I have to
Moving.
finalize it?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I just look away.
Yeah. All right, so as you follow him back there, he says, "Hey, you're new in town, aren't you?"
Well, I just arrived among the ship. Yes, I'm very new to.
Well, then you probably don't know that you need a pass to be out after curfew.
I think I will take my chance. I turn around and go back to my.
No, wait. And he shows you and he pulls out around his neck, he's got a little tablet, little mosaic around his neck. He's like, "Look, see?" And you can look and you can see that it does indeed have some kind of seal or print on the back side.
Uh, well, I'm going to. I'm just gonna look at him for a second and take a bite of my rice, and I will say, "Oh, I will simply sleep outside the town at night. Goodbye."
I can get you one for cheaper than the magistrate.
Oh, I was not planning on not speaking to the magistrate either, honestly. I'm
What are you,
going
some kind
back
of
to the.
criminal?
So if like at this point, if he's talking to me, he has
He's
to
talking
follow
to
me.
yeah, he's talking to your back. Yeah, so you walk out.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, like
and then like
what are you some kind of criminal? You're just like license? I don't need no stinking license.
license just to walk around. What the hell are you talking about?
No, just to be out
Just
after
my
curfew.
yeah, out after curfew. Well, yeah, I mean the idea of a curfew is just mind blowing to me.
Yeah, well, I would explain it to you, DM to player, but I think it's better that your character remains in the dark. So
No, I mean no, I know as a
yeah,
player.
yeah.
I'm saying my character, no, my character as a character, he understands what a curfew is, the idea of it, but that somebody would be trying
No,
to.
no. That's what I'm saying
Yeah.
is I'm just going to leave you in the dark as to what is going on.
Okay.
Is there a curfew? Is this guy trying to pull one
Yeah,
over on
yeah,
you? Like what,
yeah. I'm
what
just
is the
like,
curfew about
psh,
if there is one? Like, like yeah, I'm just going to leave your character totally in the dark. As a DM, I would explain it to you as a
all right.
player, but I think it's better this way.
Yeah, probably so. So I just go sit back down and eat. I
So
tell
this
Marquise, do not trust this fellow. He is shady.
this
And eat
guy
my
just
food.
like walks out and walks past you and just kind of like looks over his shoulder and shakes his head at you and walks out of the building.
All right, all right.
The barmaid sees that you've almost finished off your plate and comes over and says, Did you want anything to drink with that?
I will take a light mead. Thank you.
And she goes and she brings you back a very light mead. It is seasoned with hints of apple and honey.
Right, right. So, well, I'm gonna just kind of. I don't really. Do I see as I'm looking around and drinking my mead? Do they have any kind of like communal board like sometimes taverns would have?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So as you're kind of looking around, you can see on each of these posts, like, have you ever been in one of those like kitschy restaurants where they have like all kinds of murals like just plastered all over the wall?
Right, right.
Like it's like that. Like all of these posts just it's non-stop postings.
So you just lay them out wherever you want around
Right over
here.
the top of everybody else's older ones and yeah, just it's pure chaos.
Right, right. Well, that makes it kind of. I'm thinking, and this is Alexi's mind. He's thinking, oh, it makes it very hard to categorize these by how recent they are. I'll have to kind of just peruse through them
Other than the
as I
fact
drink
that
my
the
mead.
newest ones would obviously be on top.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As they're all over the place.
But yeah, knowing like
Yeah,
which ones were posted when, like other than, obviously the further back on the pile they are, the older they are.
yeah,
There's no other way of
yeah.
telling.
As they're posting them all over the wall, I just kind of have to like just go around and just kind
Yep.
of check as I'm drinking my mead.
Yep. Yep. And
So
go ahead.
I'm looking for I'm looking for I'd say three things, and I'll go with priority of how I list them here. Is I'm looking for help wanted ads that I think I could handle with me and Marquise alone. From what from and if there's enough information on them for me to tell,
Yeah.
and also look for hire ads that look like those people would be able to handle maybe doing some adventuring.
Yeah. So, as you are going through and looking at everything, the first thing that jumps out at you, before anything else, is the fact that most of these postings are for someone to captain a ship, charter a ship, shipmates, cannoneers. Um, they need jobs for ship people like more than anything. And then like the next most
Right.
populous one is like warehouse workers, dock workers, you know, people to load and unload and haul supplies to and from the ships and everything. So those are like the 90% of all of them. So you spend a good amount of time like learning how to identify the ones that are not looking for sailors and warehouse workers and all that. You know,
Fair enough.
dockmen and all that. So you're I assume anyway that you're not looking to be a dock worker, right?
No, 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 no.
Okay. I mean
Definitely not. I
like
could use my craft. I could just use my craft skill and sit in town and make as much money as I wanted to if it
yeah.
was allowed. But I mean, I'm not.
Oh,
That would be really boring.
yeah, no, I mean like it's allowed, but yeah, again, like, Dungeons and Dragons in my mind, the core of it is combat, and then you use
Right.
the story and role playing to like make that make sense. So it's not just, Pokemon battles over and over again to where it's like,
Right.
and now you fight the next stage, and now you fight the next stage, and then you get a
No, I
little
feel you.
badge. So instead of that, we like use the story to be like, oh, and now you get into this combat and like it enhances the story this way. And it becomes like a
And this is
self
why,
right.
you know.
Right. It becomes a self-feeding loop of like the story enhances the combat enhances the story, and we just keep, feeding into each other until it becomes a whole, campaign and D&D game like that. Whereas, if I were to, just have it be just combat, you know, that gets boring really quickly.
Oh, definitely.
But you got to have some kind of combat.
Oh, no, we mentioned there was something I wanted to run by
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you wanted to say
Is
something
it?
after the combat. What's that?
Yeah. All right, this is an odd one, and almost everybody tells me no right off the bat, and I kind of see why.
Okay, no.
But I would like to try it sometime
No,
if you're not against it,
I am.
and only during combat.
Okay, so it's a
Is
no.
I would like to say what?
So it's a no.
What's a no?
From me. It's a no from
Oh.
me. Go ahead. What is it?
Okay, I was confused. I was like, okay.
I gotta
Uh,
stop that. My dry wit, like sometimes, is just not everybody's cup of tea. But like that's how I am. I think that's the funniest thing in the world. Everybody just tells me no right off the bat. I'm like, okay, then no.
oh boy.
Yeah. So what is it?
Okay, flat dice during combat. And what that means is if it says roll a d20 to hit, you just take 10 and add it to your modifiers, and that's what you hit or not. And if it says you roll a d8 to damage plus this, you just take a 4, and that's what you get.
If there
It
was
speeds
if
up
there if there
combat
was ever if
dramatically.
there was ever a combat that boring or that easy, I wouldn't bother running it like that. I would do more of a cutscene.
All right, I always get kind of like that kind of similar reaction, but I think of it like this. Have you ever played war games at all? Like war games like Warhammer?
Do you know how much money I have spent on plastic crack?
Oh, my point being is
Plastic crack was my jam for so
and I'm pretty
long,
sure
but
there's
nobody
dice
plays
still
it.
involved, isn't there?
Oh, for sure, but nobody plays it around here. That
Right.
that was my real problem, was finding somebody to play against. I got this whole army that I spent so much money and time on,
All
and
right.
like I never got to play. I literally
If
never
you,
got to play.
I won't play it because if you won't let me play with tokens, then I don't care. I'm not going to spend a bunch of money just to play it. It doesn't make sense. I could just play with like soda cans and boxes and
I keep trying to get a
quarters.
game of it going on Roll20, like to where I'll use the map and then just make all the tokens for all the armies, and we can just play it right on the map, like blickety blam. Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, the how we were doing things earlier during that combat actually made a lot of sense, and uh, for explaining what I was wanting to talk about is if with the flat dice, it doesn't take away strategy at all, and it becomes much more of a strategy based game in my
No,
mind,
but
at least my opinion.
what it does is polarize you into always hitting or always missing.
Yeah, I mean that is if you're going to hit that target, unless they have done something
Right.
to mitigate that,
But
you're
if
gonna hit
they
them
if
again.
they if they do something to mitigate it, it becomes the sweep in Mortal Kombat.
That's actually what I'm kind of looking for. If you understand what I like, the combat, like making it really, really skill based and eliminating chance.
But that's not skill so much. What I'm saying is, okay, so like
It's a representation of your character skill is a better way of saying that,
I
I
get
guess. And unfortunately,
I get what you're saying there, but like I don't do fumble tables or anything like that, so you never have to worry about anything like that. But like let's just take the example of you going into the defensive fighting
right, right.
mode. Let's say the kobolds could hit you with 10 plus their 1, which they couldn't. It was 11, but they'd be hitting the drone every time. But either way, one is the kobolds would just never hit you, no matter what you did. You would just never be hit, and you would always hit them. So like you literally could not be hurt in that battle. And if the
Uh,
drone would have started fighting defensively, then he would never be able to be hit either. And so all you have to do is declare that your drone is fighting defensively, and it literally becomes pointless to even run the battle.
Well, I mean, my strategy in that situation, I mean, I guess this is a dire situation for both people and both parties. It was a really hard fight, really, honestly.
Right.
But my strategy, if I'm running the kobolds, would to be to have them attempt to surround me and go for 8 others for one kobold to grapple, and they have to take me to the ground. And then when I'm grounded, I have a -4. I can't fight defensively. And I also get flanked by them, so whoever's hitting me gets a +6.
Right. But
So I mean, it becomes very
but
strategy
but
intensive, where they
but
have to make
that's
very
one
strategic decisions.
that's one of like two or three options that would be available. Otherwise, like, you just literally are never hitting. So like every combat boils down to either I always hit or I'm gonna be always missing, and so I just zerg rush you and try and grapple you or trip you, or CMB is getting involved in some way.
I mean, I feel you, like, and I'm not trying to force it by any means. I was just running it by you because
No,
that's a very
I,
fringe and
I
odd
yeah,
thing, and I understand that.
I never take away from a player's ability to take 10 outside of combat. That's
Oh,
something.
right.
That's
Actually,
something that.
outside of combat, I wanted to keep rolling dice.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, whatever you prefer. I don't force you to take 10 or anything like that,
I
but
mean, if I can take a 10, and if I need to, I do, if it
yeah,
situationally. But yeah, I
yeah.
wasn't trying to say flat dice for outside of combat by
No,
any
no,
means.
but
But
like outside of combat, I'm
yeah,
fine with flat dice, and even like taking 20 on some things is possible,
yeah, yeah.
and encouraged. Like, why introduce the risk of failure on something you can just do, like, yeah. So I definitely encourage players to take advantage of those rules. When it comes to combat, though, my thought is this: you already get the automatic 10 to the armor class rather than having to roll defensively, but like that's about as far as like I think it should stray from the simulation of the chaos of combat. Like, I for many years had a pugilist melee type of system where everything was broken down to like how much stamina it takes to make how hard of an attack, and like your chances for hitting versus how hard you're striking, and like where you strike, and like I had this whole complex system. I realized that kind of took away from the fun of the game after I got a little older and wiser. But still, I believe that combat is something that is not just straightforward. There should always be some random chaos in there.
All right, I'm down. I'm down either way. Like I said, I was just running it by you. But
Yeah,
I
because I
will
mean,
I will say
you're
be
already gonna
prepared for some
find
wackiness.
yeah, you're already gonna find situations like with the kobold where they could barely hit you without critting anyway. You know.
Right. All right. So as I was looking around, I couldn't really find anything but like dock worker stuff. Right. That's where we were trying to pick
No,
up
no,
where we
no.
left off.
I was saying that you spent a lot of your time doing that. However,
Oh, okay.
there were a couple of ones that you found that were not for the regular worker kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna take them
So the
if I
first
can get them off the wall.
yeah. Like, nobody like gives a crap what you do with these. You can stick some up,
Yeah.
you can tear some down. Like, nobody's really like policing them.
Okay, so I'm gonna go take them and sit back down and look
Yeah.
them over.
So she notices that your glass has not been picked up in a while, and she comes over to ask if you need a refill.
No, thank you, ma'am. I'm doing just fine. Make sure to keep whatever was left over of my payment.
Oh, yes, thank you, sir. And so as you're looking through the want ads, um, you see one. It says wanted stout men for dangerous job will require hiking through dangerous jungles as well as carrying.
Oh, you cut out. Can you hear me?
Oh, as well as carrying loads of treasure out from the jungles. The so there's that one.
Okay, okay.
The other ones that caught your eye, one of them says lost, small dog looks like, and then it's got a whole description of the dog, the ears, the
Right,
tail,
right, right.
you know, massive reward for safe return.
Okay,
And just the description of massive reward caught your eye, although like,
right,
finding a dog, like you don't know, but like,
right.
and then there was a third one that caught your eye, and
Okay.
this one simply wants an escort to protect her on a ship as she travels to a major port city, which is like kind of closer to where you wanted to go as well.
I mean, that seems like the most advantageous. That one kind of reaches out, like
Yeah,
going on the jungle. Although
I mean,
going
going
back
into
on
the
the
jungle
ship,
to get treasure, that's cool. Massive reward
yeah,
for finding a dog and then going closer to where you want to go. Each one of them has like
like
inherent
their
risks
advantage.
and rewards.
And I think,
Like obviously the dog you might like not be able to find, and so it's just a goose
right,
chase. The
and
treasure,
going into
it
the
says it's
jungles,
it says it's dangerous, but if he's on the level about there being treasure, like certainly that could be rewarding. And the ship gets you closer to where you want to go, but you're on a ship again.
well, I do believe I'm gonna take my chances with the ship
Okay.
and go to a more civilized place, or more populated, I suppose. Maybe not more civilized.
Yeah, yeah. It's impossible to say.
So I'm gonna go. Well, where do I, yes, find this person?
Yeah. So,
Just right back on the same ship.
no, no, no. Well, I mean,
Oh, that would be funny.
yeah, yeah, no, no. I mean, how many ship tokens should I really upload?
No, no, I feel you there, but yeah, I just had to ask because
Yeah.
damn it, the same
Yeah,
hell
yeah, yeah,
trap.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Get right back on the same damn boat. So, no, no, there's a woman who has, named her boat, and each of the docks has like a name or some kind of number associated with it. So like there's
Okay,
Dock 42 or the Fisherman's Pier or, the dock at the gate, just like each one is identifiable. And
okay.
and so she's got the name of the ship as well as the dock that it's at. You guys go and you find her, and she's just kind of standing at the dock. Yeah, I guess we're not on the ship just yet. She's just kind of standing at the dock, and so yeah, what do you guys do?
Well, I'm just going to walk up to her, and I still have the wanted ad. I'm going to walk up to her and hand her the wanted ad, and I assume this is you we are looking for.
No, I see some men have come to my call. Tell me, you do not look like the rest of the knights that usually accompany me. Oh, how do I know your sword arm is strong?
Well, I have no sword, man.
You
I
don't
have
even
very
have a
large
sword?
wrench.
A
I just hold up the
wrench?
wrench.
What good is that going to do me?
Well, it's good for bashing things, and also good for fixing my friend when necessary. He comes along. As you can see, he is made out of metal.
Oh, yes, I see. Is it alright if I touch him?
You would have to ask him that. He is his own person.
Oh, my word. Well, metal sir, may I inspect you?
Oh my goodness.
The robot, I assume you want me to NPC him, so I'll just. You may inspect me.
Yeah, you're just kind of talking at yourself in that case situation.
I.
So I'm not trying to make you talk to yourself a whole
Yeah.
bunch, but
Yeah, no,
it
I.
happens a lot as DM, I know.
Yeah, well, and in a solo game, so, but anyway, he's like, yeah, you may inspect me, and so she just begins to examine him, and she's like, oh my, this is quite the contraption you have here. She's talking to you.
And yeah, right. So I'm like back to business, ma'am. What exactly are you offering in reward for escort?
Aside from travel and room and board while we travel, I'll be paying for your expenses, of course. I will also reward each of you with 10 gold pieces upon arrival.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Marquis at this point. I think maybe we should hold treasure from jungle. What do you think?
Calculating. Although this would appear to be the safest option, perhaps the jungle would be more rewarding.
Well, I'm sorry to say you'll have to wait for maybe someone else, ma'am. Good day. And we walk away.
Wait, what would your price be?
Honestly, let me think. Let me think for a moment. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna try diplomacy with her and barter to see how I do first.
Yeah.
If I can find it. Like skills. Oh yeah, skills. Alright, I'm gonna tell her. I will do it. We will do it for 400 gold pieces.
Oh my, I do not have that.
Well, ma'am, I'm sorry to say you are asking for escorts over dangerous water. It will be quite the expensive job.
Oh, I assure you it's quite safe. I just need some guards to stand outside my door and keep some of the sailors from trying to catch a peek at me in my nethers. Oh,
To the jungle.
you're, you're, you're like, yep, I am never listening to that NPC again.
Yeah,
Press
I'm
X
just
to skip.
yeah, I'm just thinking, I'm also thinking it's like, yeah, it's just like a noble lady and her ship, and we're the guards, and there's just some sailors, and what if the Kraken?
No, I promise you, like I don't do stuff like that. I mean, it's not that there's not a kraken out there, and it's not that you
Well, the
won't
thing is,
encounter
right
it
now,
until you're ready. Like you could, but like at level 1, unless you go like looking for trouble and blow past obvious like yield
Signs of
signs.
danger, yeah.
Yeah. Like there
I
will
just
be a
worried
yield
because
sign. I promise
oh
you.
well, okay, because like in my encounter range, I know of like 2 or 3 sea creatures that are like they're CR3, so that's like a hard ass boss fight. But it's in my
Yeah.
encounter range, especially with the drone.
No,
But
yeah.
they would wipe the floor with me, like
No,
a
yeah,
giant
yeah.
crab or something like that. Oh my god, I would
And there
die.
are things like that. However, like giant crabs aren't really a threat for ships, you know?
I mean,
Docked
actually,
ships maybe, but like not so much like ships out at sea. The major danger for ships out at sea is like
pirates, I assume.
dragon turtles
Oh
and
yeah, that yeah.
krakens. Those are the thing, and like megalodons. Those are the things that like can sink a ship, and like that's like the biggest danger is your ship sinking. Cause like what are you gonna
Yeah,
do?
because I can't swim, yo.
Right, right.
Like I
It's
can
not
swim
even
like
about the monster. Like forget the monster. It's just if it can capsize your ship, that is a big danger. And then also pirates. But the pirates are like fourth in line because generally speaking, if they don't have to scuttle your ship, they won't.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like they'd like to take your ship if they can. If they
I
can't do
mean,
that, they'd
honestly,
at least like to get paid to go away, you know? But
yeah. You can a lot of times bribe them, I suppose. Yeah, just like
that's
here's all the
mostly what the,
stuff,
yeah,
leave us
that
alone.
not even all the stuff. Usually pirates what they do is they basically run like a mafia style security type of thing where like in pirate controlled waters you're paying them
Yeah,
for
true.
protection.
Yeah, they're like you paid protection. Here's your little flag, or
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll put you on
exactly.
our list.
Yes. And so, it's most caravan not caravans but merchants who need to sail through pirate infested waters already know to like hide most of their valuables if they can
Right.
and to have payment ready. Yeah.
You gotta have that shit in the budget.
Exactly. But you hide all your expensive shit just in case they like decide they want to board you
Oh,
and
this is too much. We gotta take it.
right. So you don't want to piss them off, but you just have your payment ready, and it's like bribing a corrupt cop or something. Like you hope it works.
Let me think here.
So you go back to the inn to like study the rest of the wanted ads and read the one about the jungle some more. It says that if you are interested, everybody is rendezvousing at an inn just outside of the town, and that you won't be paid up front, but you get a share of the treasure. Not a full share like everybody gets an equal share like this guy gets,
Right.
you know,
He gets the majority,
yeah,
but
but you'll get a part of the treasure.
all right. Just have us like the not to make you generate a name randomly or anything, but does this guy have a name on his flyer or
Yeah,
anything of that nature?
yeah, he is Barbarous.
Barber. Just on a whim for the fun of it. I'm gonna see if I get lucky. History is super helpful a lot of the time. Where's my history? Oh, I can't roll history from this. I can roll knowledge. Knowledge. I think they're all the same. Yeah, all my knowledge skills are the same, right? Oh, I see. Nifty. It opens a little menu.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
yeah,
history.
yeah.
Okay, so 12. Like, do I recognize this from anything?
Yes.
My history check.
This is the infamous Captain Barbarous, formerly a pirate sailing the burning seas, and he terrorized many of the northern ships before retiring to the south here, and his name still strikes fear and is invoked in the north, as like, may Barbarous take you, as like a curse.
Right. Well, I don't think I'm out. I don't think I'm overplaying my character's intelligence here. He has a 16, a lot much smarter than your average person. So I'm gonna just from knowing that about him, I'm gonna think, well, this guy is for one gonna be completely willing to leave us to die. He's number two gonna want a lot of fodder to take care of the traps that may be wherever we're going. So this is gonna be extremely dangerous.
That is what the want ad said.
But I mean, just his character adds another
Oh,
whole
oh,
flavor
right,
of
right.
danger.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like the want ad did say dangerous.
No, I expect it to be dangerous, but the guy leading it like doubles the danger almost.
Yeah, now that you recognize him, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Interestingly
But
enough, it is not signed Captain Barbarous.
right, right. But I just like I that's the only name that comes to mind, and it makes sense for somebody trying to go get lots of treasure in the jungle, kind of. So retired pirate. He's not on the seas anymore, but he's got the itch to go on a treasure hunt.
You never really lose the urge to collect treasure.
Yeah, if you're like, yeah, once you have a mountain of gold one time, you're gonna go after it every time,
Yeah, yeah.
theoretically.
Once you get locked into a serious hoard collection, the tendency is to push it as far as you can.
Well, see, in this point, they said they were rendezvousing at an inn outside of town. What time of day is it?
It is probably getting later on in the afternoon, not like, you know, um, to where it's sunset, but like the sun is definitely lower in the sky than
Right.
noon.
Like I just had dinner basically.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, hell, I think I'm just gonna head to the inn outside of town and check it out at least, see who's gathered and what's going on, and see if
As
I can find it.
as Alexi and Marquise walk down the road outside of town, they can smell the oxygen in the air. They hear the call of many jungle animals, birds, and other predators, and all kinds of waves of wild scents hit their senses. They can smell strange tropical flowers and fruits, and just the wild jungle just overwhelms them as they step out of town. Before this, they had smelled nothing but the salty sea air and the smells of the town, and now the jungle's full majesty strikes them. They spot the inn easily enough, and as the sun starts to dip below the canopy of trees and a shadow spreads across all of the land, the lights go dark, and we close this session as we will pick up next week with them entering the inn and trying to sign up with Barbarous and his crew to go into the jungle. Uh, Thank you for playing. Anyone who's watching, thank you for watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.